What's going on, you guys?
What is going on?
Thank you for stopping by today, coming up all the way from Menifee. I know it's a long drive for you guys. So.
Winchester.
Oh, Winchester, whatever. You know, no big deal.
And you're in our neck of the woods.
I will say, when you get off at Scott Road, it is a lot farther than you think it is.
But it's amazing.
It
We
is.
drive by the cows every day.
Congratulations.
We're 5 minutes to the winery.
I walk past the homeless. So it's basically the same. They both, you know. So what made you guys get into real estate?
Well, Mike was in the industry for over 15 years, training realtors, and told me, hey, like, if this is your competition, you can do it.
Isn't that so sad?
Like, you
Just answer your phone.
That's
you're
it.
thorough, like, you care about people, and it's super easy. So he's a liar.
He is a liar.
Yeah, so pretty much from training him, I was like, just get in. It's easy. Get your license. You'll make some money. Most people don't answer their phone anyways, and go from there. And then she got
And then he
in,
always
and-
had that big vision. He was like, you get in, start building a business. We had young kids, so we just kind of dabbled in it.
Yeah.
And then just my business continued to grow. And then it was time for him to jump ship.
Yeah. It's always like, do you feel like, I think real estate's really easy until we make it harder for ourselves.
Oh,
like,
totally.
Like if I didn't have any of this, I could probably do like 15 deals a year every year just on my phone, whatever,
Yeah.
make a good living.
Yeah.
But then we, as idiots, are like, no, we got to do more. We need to do bigger.
Yeah.
We need to get more. And the sad part about it is like, it's not even the money. I just think it's like the challenge of like taking something else on, or I don't know what it is, but I think we're dumb for one. But it's funny, like when people are like, oh, I don't know how, like, dude, you got to do 12 a year. If you can't do 12 a year,
Yeah.
like
One a month.
one a month,
Yeah.
and you make a good living.
Yeah. I think it's that entrepreneur mindset, though, like, and that's why we make it harder for ourselves. It's like, okay, we've done,
What can we do next?
yeah, we did, 1 this month. Okay, now we're doing 2. And then it's like you set yourself like your personal best.
Yeah.
Oh, we have 16 in escrow. And then you're like, well, can I beat that? And
Can
then-
I beat that? And what else can I do? Just like buying the short-term rental. It's like, we want to do more. We believe in we believe in buying houses.
Yeah.
And so I think
You just kind of get bored.
And you want to challenge yourself.
Like real estate transactions are the boringest thing in the world. What people don't understand, it's like why we have assistants and TCs that can handle it, because for the most part, it's a boring, easy transaction for the most part. The hardest part is finding the person that wants to work with you.
Yeah.
And then the time when something does come up, being able to actually handle it. Like the lead is the easy part. Is to converting the lead into a client is the hardest part of the game, and why we make so much money.
Yeah, it's fishing. And then once, like when you're out there on the boat, enjoying it, having a good time, you catch the fish, now you're like, now I got to descale it, and I got it, and I don't want to do all that.
You just throw it back in.
Yeah, you know, it's like with that hunt, that fish, going for it, and that's the fun part about it. But then it's...
And we all kind of like to problem solve, I feel like, in real estate. So then
Yeah.
that's maybe...
Did you guys plan on it, or did you just like kind of like wake up one day and you were like there? Like I never planned on running a team. I never planned on having an office. And it just kind of like, oh shoot, okay, we did well my first year. Oh crap, now people want to come work for me. Oh crap, me and this brokerage, we've kind of outgrown each other. Where are we gonna go now? And it wasn't like I'm gonna open my own office, but it was like, well, the problems we had here, we're probably gonna have there, which we're probably gonna have there, and we're probably gonna have there. Like, let's just open up our own space. It wasn't planned. It just kind of happened.
We never really planned it, but then when he joined me full time, and then COVID hit, and it was feast or famine.
Yeah.
Like, you were going to go out there and you were going to help people achieve their dreams, in exchange helping us achieve ours. So I think that's when it got really serious for us.
Definitely. And it's more of like, just being able to shoot from the hip and figure out, okay, what are we going to do next?
Yeah.
And not being afraid to fail. And then realizing, I don't want to work for somebody. Like, being in a corporate scene, like 9 to 5, it's for some people, it's great, but like for us, we've always had small businesses. And it was just like, no, we got to be able to have the flexibility with our kids.
Yeah.
Because that's most important. Be there I coach soccer. I still do all of those things that I might not be able to do as easy. So it was like real estate is the vehicle. Like, what else can you do?
And I think, too, as we changed, like, who we hung around with in real estate and going, okay, they're big dreamers and they shoot big numbers and they hit these big goals. And it was like, wait, we can do that, too.
Yeah.
And why are we not doing this? And why aren't we pushing ourselves more? So we just started to push more and more, and then getting a coach and having, like, our lender on our side that's constantly pushing us to dream bigger. Like, no, you're going to diversify.
Yeah.
You're going to open this company. You're going to buy this house. You're going to try the Airbnb. You're going to, just really pushing us and just being behind us to help us dream bigger.
And the people are interesting, right? Like, I mean, we knew you from social media, and then like had conversations through that. But then
he did a coaching with us.
I know, but then
like on bears.
We like donated a bear. Or
yeah, see right there. Thank you guys. I appreciate that.
To one of your charities, but to like, you know, and then you meet people, and then you realize like it's more fun when you're doing it with other people that challenge themselves.
Totally. Yeah.
And then it's like you can have a challenge, or hey, what are you doing on my market? You know, but it's all fun and games as long as you have those great relationships with people. And there's a lot of great people in the industry to do that with.
I think that's the number one. Agents that do like 12 to 15 deals a year make that mistake. Like you have to surround yourself with, if it's not, the problem with those people that they don't get is like they don't bring enough value to other agents that are doing 30 to 40 deals a year to be in their network of people, but then they don't want to go work for anyone. Yeah. Right. Or they don't want to pay for a coach, or they don't want to, like I paid $4,500 for a coaching program the other day and the guy's like, that's way too expensive. I'm like, dude, that's not even 1% of my average sale price. You're trying to tell me if I just get one deal, that is 3x my investment. Like you can't even... You're bragging how many deals you close, and $4,500 is a lot to you. And I even wrote back to him. I said, if you think of $4,500 a lot, then how do you tell your client to drop their house price by $20,000? Because in their head, they're losing $20,000. Yep. You can't think. You have to not think about money. You just have to think like, is this going to grow or push me in the right direction?
Yeah, and you got to step outside your comfort zone.
All the time.
I mean, for the longest time, we didn't coach because it was like that expense where it's just like...
But our mindset has shifted so much. And even bringing people onto the team, it's leveled us up because you're like, well, I don't want to fail them. And it's really fun to watch them, like grow. Watch it change their life too. You know, to hear like, I was able to do this or that with my family because of real estate. Or, hey, my business started growing when I joined the team. And it's just it's fun to do it together.
I think, but starting out though, like when you do see that first, like, oh yeah, you should have a coach, and then you look and you start researching it, and it's like $2,000 a month. Like, I just paid all this to get my license and everything else. Like, can I really take on this expense? Maybe at first you can't. But then, like you were saying, to challenge yourself to grow, you gotta like take those steps.
And so we didn't murder each other. So.
Well, and two, it's just so hard to do this on your own. Like you're like, what people don't get is like you're always searching. Like, are we? It's like at the end of the day, you're always like not doubting yourself, but it's like, are we going in the right direction? Are we spending money in the right direction? Are we? Is this the right way to do this? Like, there's so many avenues to go down that it's like you need to. I think a great reason to have a coach is like they're also interacting with tons of agents. So they can see like, what is this my client doing? What's this client doing? What's this client? And then it's like, oh, well, this is what we're seeing in the market. This is what's working for other people. This is, because it's like, you know, you try it once, but if everyone's fishing with different baits, and then you see who's catching the fish, and you go, oh, we're just going to fish with that bait now.
And it's so easy to shift and be that butterfly mentality. Like when I first started in real estate, he was training realtors, and it was all like the top producing realtors, a lot of them in San Diego. So he'd sit me down with them, and it was like each person was doing something different that I'd overthink it all. Yeah. And it was like, so having that coach brings us back to...
Like to keep you in that lane.
Just stay consistent. I love something like Gwyneth Paltrow said, do 1,000 things 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that was from the Airbnb guy. Like just... keep doing it consistently. Anything you do is gonna
work. It's all the same game. I just think that you have to stick to it, and I don't think people realize like how long it takes, especially in this market. You know, I said, someone texted me yesterday. I've kind of given up on giving people advice, but like he texted me, I'm like, dude, you're coming into like the hardest market ever, dude.
Yes.
Like the last 2 years have been very difficult for new agents. Like, I'm not gonna tell you, you know, my advice to you, start 5 years ago. Like, really, like that's the best advice I could give anyone right now. Like, you should have started 5 years ago.
It's easy right now. I'm like, it's hard right now.
It's so hard. Yes, the commission checks are bigger, but I've lost more clients, more listings. Totally. Like listings you put on the market, doesn't sell for the price, they 75 over, and then they're like, yeah, we're just gonna cancel. And you're like, dude, I've been working all those hours.
A lot of buyers too that are like
I've lost so many buyers.
Going direct, falling out, you know.
It's that buyer fatigue. I think though the important thing is, and I've said it for a long time, is we control the narrative, right? As real estate agents, if we're out there just on social media, on platforms, on podcasts, on YouTube, saying, oh, this is a terrible time to get into real estate, well, we're setting that bar saying, hey, don't do it. Yeah. But if we just had our team meeting on the way here in the car, and it was like, it's an opportunistic market. There's always an opportunity. This is the best
time to buy.
Yeah.
That's all I keep on preaching. This is the best time to buy. Because you know what? Now you're competing, and this is why people need to work with top agents, is that we're seeing offers come in on listings. Like, I'm now seeing, before it was like everyone removed appraisal, everything was 50 above. Now it's like you might have 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah.
But now you're dealing with a lot of FHA, can't waive appraisal, a lot of 5% downs, a lot of 10%, can't waive appraisals. Like, what people don't get is like, I'm gonna sit on the sidelines. Okay, well, when it goes back down,
keeps going up
when you're gonna go back down, all those people that have been sitting on the sideline that are better buyers than you are just going to jump back in, then you're going to get beat again.
Right.
Yep.
Like, you got to go now.
Yeah.
Like, this is, you know, it might not be the best market for you, but do you really want a house or you don't want a house? That's the choice you really have to make.
Yeah. And if you're not planning on selling it in the next year,
does it
doesn't
matter?
really matter.
What does it matter?
The house we're closing on today. That's the same thing we're talking about. Does it matter if it crashes tomorrow?
If you
no.
can cash flow it.
As long as we can cash flow it, doesn't matter.
And at the end of the day, even if you're just breaking even for a while, you're still paying down your mortgage.
Yeah.
So then it's just like a piggy bank at that point that you just can't touch. I just think that that's like the craziest part. But I do think that's the biggest flaw in real estate is like we don't educate our followers enough. And what people don't get is like if you're not pushing out content, they're collecting content from some other place and they're controlling the narrative, not you.
Yep.
And, you know, I see people all the time like, oh, scumbag realtors, blah, blah, blah. It's like...
Well, it kind of goes back to, though, that guy, controlling the narrative today when you were talking about, he's talking about how all the markets are, like, the market's crashing, the headline. And so it's Idaho, but possibly, right?
Yeah.
But then he makes it look like it's everywhere.
But it's not, and that's the thing. But then the funny part about it, but then they'll talk about areas that he thinks prices are going to go up. Yeah. So then I think that's the thing that sucks in the day and age that we live in that I'm interested to see moving forward is that those people are making money on
clickbait,
on clickbait and views. And what they have to realize is realtors, we make money on buying and selling homes.
Yep.
And if I'm planning on being around here for another 5 years, which I assume I will be, I need to keep you and educate you in the right direction. Because if I tell you something wrong and then something bad happens or whatever, you're going to be pissed off at me not using me anyway. So I have to worry about this relationship. Those people don't. And I think that's the thing. And if you're not working with someone you don't trust, then you're working with the wrong realtor.
Yeah, if you use clickbait too much, you're going to like burn your audience. There's a couple people that I've been in crypto since like 2017, right? Like cryptocurrency. And there's a lot of guys that over this past year would use clickbait titles on YouTube. And then you go into it and realize all it was to get you there for them to sell you some other product.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. So now I don't even bother with them. And then you go back to the source that's actually bringing value. Mm-hmm. So as agents, you have to continue to bring value. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to use titles like, hey, is the market crashing?
Yeah.
You're not going to say the market is crashing, don't buy. Is the market crashing? Where are the best opportunities? Mm-hmm. So it still can be clickbaity, but at the same time, you're still providing value to educate your consumer that will be there with you for the ride for the next 5 years. Yeah. Right?
Do you guys think that that we're going to see a big shift in? I think we're going to see a big shift on how many realtors, and definitely loan officers are in this market, but I think that now that's going to get a little tighter. Do you think teams are going to go away or not? Because lenders aren't going to be able to cover that, $15,000 to $20,000 a month Zillow with the return that we get on Zillow nowadays?
I don't know, because we don't use Zillow. We never have.
Yeah.
So for us, it's all organic.
Yeah.
Agent relationships and referrals, past client referrals.
So how do you do that then with a team then? Because most teams...
We teach them to fish for themselves.
Smart move. I like that.
So, yes, we have leads and they can track them down all day long, but if we teach them to fish for themselves, and then our goal is for them to build teams so that they never stop, like give somebody a feather, teach them to keep flying, then I've done my job.
I've never heard that saying, but...
Either have I, but she created that on the fly, and it was pretty good.
You know what? She was so worried about going in this thing. She's like the person that just like turns it on, you know what I mean? She's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be this networking event. Walks in the door. Hey, everyone, what's going on? I'm here. You know what I mean? She's hot. Mike's having to pull her out by the end of the night. You know what I mean?
Dumbo was your favorite movie then. Wasn't that the feather?
Yeah.
Dumbo had the feather, and then he could fly with his big ears. There you go. Good
there you go.
Right?
Look at you.
Killing it.
You should trademark that for sure. I'll let you know. I'll have my trademark lawyer talk to you. I have one or two right now anyways. So, but yeah, I think that's the thing that I think team leaders are making the mistake. They're not teaching their agents how to get their own business. And if team leads, if you're building your own, if they're just pulling in Zillow leads, like, they can go anywhere. You know what I mean?
When I was a part of a team, my numbers did grow, but it was just because I realized it's so easy when you're solo and by yourself and new to go, okay, well, it must be a secret sauce.
Yeah.
It must be something, like they must be doing something. They must be getting leads. Everybody must be handing them business. And it's not. So when I joined a team, it was like my numbers just continued to grow because I realized, and she'd call me out. Like,
it's all about accountability.
How many calls did you make? What did you do? So that's the same
accountability
thing we're trying to
for
do
sure.
Right now.
Like, if you get in this industry, you have to be accountable. Have someone keep you accountable or be self accountable.
Well, that's what we were at an event, and it was a top producing big team, a husband and wife, and that was their first piece of advice to us. He had just joined me, and she was like, get a coach. You can't coach each other, get a coach. So
like my girlfriend's in real estate, and we do not talk real estate at all.
Oh, that's nice.
Because like, one, don't tell me I do real estate, because I do maybe 1 or 2 more deals than you do a year. But 2, it's like that is not who we are.
Yeah.
That's just what we do. Yeah. And so for me, like every once in a while, she'll ask me a real estate question. What should I do in this or this? But like going out and getting business or whatever, like not like.
And we do polar opposite ends of like the job. So he does a lot of the marketing on the properties, and then I run the deals and the transactions and the contracts.
I think that's smart. Like I never understood why husband and wife both become realtors. It's like you're just tapping into the same business anyway. So it's not like you're growing your business.
Yeah,
like
he has his license. He can run around and do that stuff too. But
everything's run under her.
Yeah.
I'm on the back end helping her, helping the team.
But then it's what we're best at.
Yeah.
I suck at marketing.
But you work to your strengths. Like
I think
try to do something you're not good at.
And I think do you feel like a lot of agents make that mistake that are stuck at that amount of deals, is that you're not good at everything, and most people don't make enough money to have all this stuff that we have here or blah blah blah. So do you think like that's the biggest flaw, is like you're just not good enough at everything?
Yeah, you can't be good at everything. So like I feel like delegate it.
Yeah.
If you're a professional delegator, you can be good at anything.
Oh, dude, I have a buddy named Adam Owens who does credit repair, student credit repair, and he makes a lot of money. He knows nothing about credit repair. So then you know what he went and did?
Find the right
he started
people.
a plumbing company. That thing's killing it. He doesn't even have a wrench in his house, probably. Sorry, Adam, if you watch this, but you literally don't have a wrench. I know you don't. But like, he knows how to build businesses, and he knows how to put systems in place. He knows how to build.
Yep.
But he has no idea what his company does. Like he just brings those people in. Like,
you hire the people that are good at what they do and can do the job better than you.
I almost want to just bring him in for me.
And then
you know what I mean?
That's not a bad idea.
But you don't need a huge team, right? I mean, you could do it with 2 or 3 people.
Oh, for
that
sure.
are specific to, you're gonna be my TC, you're gonna be a buyer's agent, you're gonna do marketing.
I don't even think you need buyer's agents anymore. I think showing agents is like the
agents,
new cool thing, especially that new app that's out.
Especially in this market.
What app are you talking about?
There's an app where it's like Uber for
Stop.
for showings.
Really?
And you just like shoot a message out. You have your credit card on file. I need someone to show this house, and there's agents on there, and they just go show the house. Open the door.
Why don't we think of that?
I know, right?
I just want quality people. We don't know if they're quality agents.
They're just opening the door. Like
they don't talk about numbers.
They don't talk. They don't even talk to your client. They literally just legally open the door, and then you just tell your client, like, because let's be honest, when you show a house, I don't know I know how I show a house. Like when I show a house, like nowadays, like I just kind of let my clients wander.
Yeah.
I let them feel. I want them to feel that this just them two in a house and how they feel in that house. Me following them around and pointing out the 3 outlets on the wall, like what is that going to do to anyone? You know what I mean? Like
it's a feeling. Definitely
buying a house is a feeling.
Step in that door, and then I dig into the properties later.
Yeah, like afterwards, because you just don't have enough time.
I dig in.
If you're showing 5, I mean, not in this market, but back in the day, I used to show like 5 to 10 in one day. I don't know.
Right. No.
I can't do all the research on all the houses. It'll take me hours.
No,
and then
you tell me the ones you like, and then
we'll go do homework on those. Yeah. Did you struggle when you started bringing agents on, or bringing on assistants, or even bringing on Mike? Did you struggle like letting go?
Oh, 100%. And then we just brought our daughter on too.
Oh, even more. Continue. So, sorry if this gets you in trouble later, Mike. My apologies.
No,
but it did. It did, because it was all me for a very long time, and then COVID hit, and we had 4 kids at home suddenly. What, 2 months after you started with me?
Yeah.
So then it was like we had kids home trying to homeschool, and I just kept running.
And then the market took off, so it wasn't really.
There was times I had 16 in escrow at one time.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Unreal, and we had kids that we were trying to make sure they didn't fail in school.
Yeah, they were doing their online schooling, so then that kind of shifted my responsibility from helping her to like making sure the house was locked down.
Yeah,
which was fine, totally different for me.
Yeah,
because I've been
for both of us.
Yeah, in like corporate real estate for 15 years, and then to just like be at home now, and then the market took off, so she was running around like crazy. It worked though. And then, as it's kind of...
Well, I feel like that's the thing about real estate. Sorry, it's just learning how to, like, bob and weave with the changes. I mean, I remember my first broker talking about that, saying, like, the only thing consistent in real estate is change.
Well, I mean, so like, in 1 week...
Successful.
Like, we were talking about my Winchester house. A week earlier, 2 houses that were kind of close to ours. went into escrow above asking price. A week later, rates jump up, Easter happens, spring break, and now nothing.
Yeah.
And there's no rhyme or reason. It's, and then the hard part is that people watch, if you're watching the news and you're watching that the market's crashing, you're standing on the sidelines.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you have someone educating you in a different way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Mike, how did you get into coaching real estate agents? So it's like most people like become real estate agents, they become top real estate agents, and then they become a coach. Like what made you, or how did you make that transition straight into coaching?
It was really just starting with a company and some guys that were in lending. And then when lending started shifting and the rules were changing, they saw that there was a gap and social media was just coming out, right? Or Facebook business pages for real estate agents were coming out. This was, this was like 14 years ago. So then they saw that need. They created a company. We started locally training with like local associations, and then ended up kind of going more national. And then I became a trainer for like different state associations. And it was all on social media because it was growing so quickly and changing every day. And there was nobody kind of creating that path for real estate agents. So that's what the company did. And then it was all just my own research. I
was just like diving in things.
Yeah, into augmented reality and QR codes back before anybody knew how to use them.
Which I love that QR codes now are like a cool thing. Because we try to do QR codes in 19 and no one knew what they were.
Nope.
Yeah.
No one used them. Everyone's like
signs.
They're like, what do I take what is this? Is this like a price bar? Like I don't even know.
Yep.
And so then I'm like, well, screw this. This thing isn't working. But now it's like I'm putting QR codes on everything.
Exactly.
I think we even have them on our computers.
Yeah, they're on our computers.
They probably think they're ordering food now. They're like, oh, okay, well, it's at the
They see it, and now it's a habit.
It's a habit now.
I'm going to open up my camera and I'm going to take a picture, and then it takes you to our website or whatever the case may be. So it was just kind of over time it went into that, and then different brokerages. I became trainers and coaches for the actual brokerage, and then it was finally like, hey, she got in, she needed the need, and I'd rather build our own team and business,
started
so we
growing,
jumped in.
and then that commute too, and then same thing. Our kids started becoming latchkey kids, like because work was busy, and so
and you had to have a full-time assistant. I'm sorry, in this game, if you're doing over 20 to 25 deals a year, like you have to have an assistant. I don't care who you are, like to keep your mind sane. Like I laugh when I see agents that do 20 to 30 deals a year, and all the time they're running around with their head chopped off, and then they're like, dude, how do you do it? I'm like, I have like 4 employees. So you have a choice, like live the crazy life that you're living or pay people. I'd rather pay people.
You just have to be willing to let it go, though.
Yeah.
And that was...
that's the hard one for me.
I literally did not have... Everyone thought I was going to have that problem. 0.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, whatever.
I mean, like for me and you, we're the same kind of personality where it's like, hey, sure, go, run with it.
Just do your job.
She's like a little bit more, she likes to have that control. But now that she's realizing, hey, I can't do everything, and we have great support around us between our coach, our TC, assistants.
Oh, it's so much easier with the coach too, knowing like what to let go.
Yeah. The hard part is sometimes like because I'm so taken out of a transaction now, like I had last night happen where a client asked me about a contingency was removed that day, and I just didn't know if we got it or not, to be honest. And it was 7:00. My assistant lives in Tennessee, so it's 9:00. I bought her 2 phones so she doesn't work off the clock. Like I get super mad at her.
Yeah.
Because she would call me like freaking out because she works for me and other agents, and I was like, I mailed her a second phone. I was like, this is your personal phone now. I got a zip code for your area. This is your second phone.
Nice.
On weekends, that work phone stays home. Your work phone after 6:00 stays in there. Like
your work phone's not staying at home.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I got 2 phones. Yeah. But even for me, like when I go to dinner now, I don't take my work phone, or when I need a break, like when you have that transaction.
Not there yet.
Oh, no?
No.
Dude, I am like, if people think I probably smoke weed all day because I'm just like, whatever.
No. It's like a habit. I check it at 2:00 in the morning.
No. I don't even get notifications. I get 0 email notifications. 0.
You got to turn it off.
I turn everything off.
Yeah.
Because if not, like, how do you keep sane? Because that's the problem with real estate.
Sane, Stacey?
But that's the problem with real estate is that she doesn't. She's like, I take Adderall or I take something else. But that's the problem with real estate is like we were talking about before. It's like when you're super busy, you're busy, and then when the business slows down, you freak out, so you work even more. It's like, when do you have the time if you want to do this for the next 30 years?
That's why partially, like why bringing on Michaela with us, it's like, okay, today she's got to make a video out of some content we have, like trying to get her so that we don't hopefully have those ups and downs, because it's easy to stop prospecting and doing certain things when you're in the busyness.
You just told me you don't do prospecting.
Well, he does prospecting.
Oh, yeah.
Her focus, she does prospect, but her focus is past clients.
And agents.
And agents. We get a lot of referral business from other agents that don't want to drive to the Temecula Valley. So we help agents from San Diego, Orange County, LA, San Francisco. I mean, all over. But like for her, it's really just being able to say, I think if you can, from the very beginning, set that narrative to where your client doesn't expect you to answer when they call you at 9.
For sure.
Then you'll have that freedom.
And I think that is the hard part, knowing. Like, I have a client right now on my watch. He just messaged me about seeing a house. Like, knowing, like, that we not, like, I'm going to get back to you and I can get back to you. But we do put everything in group text messages with my assistant.
Yeah.
So, anytime my client's going to get a hold of me and goes in, like, group text, if I'm doing something, she responds.
Yeah, that is a great idea.
And then everyone's always on the same page, so it cuts down the middleman. And there's a lot of things your assistant can answer that you don't have to do. Scheduling photos, scheduling termites, scheduling appraisers, scheduling home inspection, scheduling docs have gone out, please sign, docs are coming back. They just removed contingencies, things like that's their job. It's all done in a group text. And so then at no time, like, we're ever caught off guard on like what's going on in the transaction, because I can always go back and look. And our clients are always getting responses, even if you're in an appointment.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because it's all about setting the expectation. So I even tell them that, like, listen, we're going to start everything. And clients go, oh my God, that's a great idea. Like, because you go, hey, I'm with you right now. I'm not going to answer my phone, but what if I'm with another client and you're needing something? Brittany can answer it or take care of it or make that call if, what's going on, especially showings. Do you show houses still anymore?
Oh, yeah.
So even showing. So all our text messages go into a showing. Our clients just screenshot a property to us, tell us what time. Brittany sets it up, puts it on my schedule, and I just go to the showing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think the second phone idea, though, like for her would be a great one, because everybody has her personal number, which isn't a bad thing, but to be able to turn it off and then have an assistant that's on a group text.
Yeah.
And answer it. So even if you can't, because now it's family time, but somebody is still responding. Yeah. Because really, at the end of the day, you don't want to be that agent that's not responding either.
And the thing you'll learn is your clients don't care who responds. They just want to know the answer.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's all they're heard. They just want to be like, hey, we got you. So it's funny, between like 9 to 5, she answers everything. And then after 5, I answer everything. Okay. Because so throughout the day, I'm not really answering any text messages from clients. That's more of her stuff. But then, I have some clients that only can talk at 7 o'clock. Hey, can you talk tonight at 7? Can you? So for me, it's like, I can't work and I don't answer anything before 9. And I tell clients that before 9 o'clock, you can send me a text, you can send me a call. It's great. At 9 o'clock, I'll get back to you, because I know I'm going to be taking calls until 7 and 8 o'clock at night. So I have to pick one. Yeah. Which one do you want to pick? Stop working at 5 or work before 9? Yeah. And so it's keeping that balance, you know. And it hasn't really affected us at all. But because a lot of our clients are past clients, they're not online leads, they're not Zillow. So a lot of our clients know me personally.
So you're all relational as well.
I'm completely all relationship. I spend zero money on marketing.
I think that helps though too, because then not only knowing that she's going to answer 9 to 5, but then so you don't get distracted. Because how easy is
it's so easy.
I think especially in real estate, there's so many distractions. You go to an office meeting, it's just full of distractions, and then you don't get any work done because then there's a speaker there, there's a presenter, there's
and then you go get lunch, and then it's and then you accidentally it's 3 o'clock, and you're like, oh, I didn't get anything done.
Yeah, and you're working till midnight sometimes.
And then you can so that's the other thing too. That's why I don't work at home either. Right. I only work here. Like, I've left my apartment to come work here because that's my non-work zone. I don't work at home, Yeah. Because this space gives me, because all mine is content. So when I'm here, that's when I'm like, Adrian, let's shoot this video.
Oh yeah, we just sold our house back in July and bought a new house, and one of the things I love about it is that there's a separate office, like completely behind the kitchen, far away from the other side of the house, because I was going to bed and waking up looking at my desk. Like, I cannot do this.
No, it's hard.
Like, I need a separate space. We've tried offices, but we prefer to have it like this.
For sure.
The commute, but I don't.
You have to. What people don't. You have to figure out how to turn it off. And that hustle grind. Like, I'm a huge Gary Vee fan, but you cannot hustle and grind forever. You have to.
Burnout's a real thing.
Burnout there's a reason why 87% of people don't make it. Yeah. After 4 years.
87 is that?
That's the number. Yeah.
Hey, so we made it after 4 years.
Hey.
Is it? And that's how I always laugh, is that all these major brokers like Keller Williams and all these people, like, you guys suck at your job if 87% of the agents that most agents go work for big brokerages fail after. after 4 years. So.
Right. Well, we've been at a few different brokerages, and there's nothing different. It's all the,
Yeah, well, it comes down to work,
Yeah.
right?
It sounds like work.
What are you going to do? Nobody has the perfect plan for you. You have to do it.
And the sad part is that all these big companies have sales reps that convince you, because they're in sales, to convince you to come work for them. And then you get there and you're like, oh, well, this is not what I expected, or I expected more, or this isn't as great as I thought it was going to be. And then you're like, well, then it just still comes back on me to do it all. Have you guys ever thought about going on your own as a brokerage?
We've thought about it.
Yeah, we've talked about it. I mean, it's not off the table. It's just right now we're just busy building the team. I mean, we're working on getting the broker's license for us, just to have, because you could still be under somebody.
Yeah, and still have your broker's license.
And have your broker's license, and then looking to get licensed in other states as well. But more of just to be able to provide more service, and then know that we have that if we ever
want to.
If we ever needed to sell a house in Hawaii, we have a license. If we ever needed to be our own broker, we have our broker's license. So that's definitely like part of the plan.
Do you see his in Hawaii? So that's what he's working on.
No, we've had this talk. He said he's retiring there.
That's his vision. He's retiring there. So
that's what he said.
His license there.
We were playing golf last week, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm getting my broker's license in Hawaii." I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "I'm retiring there."
Yep.
Like, it's already happening.
Yep.
It's just happening. I'm gonna have one there, and there's no ifs and buts. She can stay here, but I'm going.
Pretty much.
I think
See you, babe.
I think that's the fun thing about real estate, though, is like, if you do get into it and network and meet the people and realize there's a lot of people that have a lot of great ideas. Like, real estate is a vehicle that can allow us to do other things, like other small businesses or Airbnbs or whatever.
Because you're just running a business, and then you're in sales. The thing that I think is crazy is like why I have left not so many brokerages, but why I bounced around from brokerages is like, I went to my first brokerage, I learned everything I could learn out of every single person there, so then I left. Then I went to another, I learned everything I could, and then I just kept going, because it's like, I love real estate, and I love talking real estate. It's the reason we started this podcast, and like, nothing I hate more than trying to talk real estate with people that don't know anything about real estate, but they're real estate agents.
Well, like they say, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? So it's like, you got to find those people that are better than you and are doing more than you, and then surround yourself with them, because then you're going to come up with another idea.
Every meme that's on Instagram is so true. If people just realize, all the motivational memes are so hilarious, but they're all true, and they're so simple. It's like, oh, you want to make more money and be more successful, leave your loser friends and then go hang out with people, or go hire, or go work, or hire a coach. Like,
I quickly realized our second brokerage. I was like, I can't be here. Nothing wrong with them. I loved everybody there. But when people started asking me, and I'd only been in the business 6 months, like, how are you closing deals? I'm like, I'm in the wrong spot.
Well, so that's the thing too. I don't want.
Now I'm always the smallest fish.
You always want to be the smallest fish.
Broker we're at, we're the smallest fish. We are all about giving everything that we can, but I want to learn.
You just want to learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it makes you go into a room that you're like, that is a possibility.
Yeah.
That's something weird about Riverside. It's like, oh, that person crushes it. What do they do? Oh, they do 35 deals a year. I'm like, do you know what's out there? Like, do you know people do hundreds of deals on their own? And do you know there's $1 billion companies and like $500-600 million companies doing 800 transactions? Like, that. No, they just like live in this like, oh, she crushes it, does 30. I'm like, she's been doing it for 25 years. I hope so.
Yeah, you said the failure rate's 87%. How many, like, for a new agent, what does the average agent close a year?
The average agent does 5 deals a year.
5 deals.
So you make more money working at Walmart. Or not McDonald's, something like that. McDonald's is $22 an hour.
Dues still.
Pay your dues, your super fees, your broker's fees, your desk fees. You have to spend a little bit of money on marketing.
Yeah.
I just think that's the thing that people don't get. Like I said, what's the thing we've been told the last few years? Oh, it's so lucky you're in real estate. I'm like, how tough
it's freaking hard right now.
I've never done drugs, but I've thought about it a few times. You know what I mean? Like, Adrian's trying to get me to freaking eat marshmallows in there. He's like, yo, have a marshmallow. I'm like, no. And he's like, why not? I'm like, dude, I probably would love cocaine, but then I'll start eating these all the time. And no, we don't need to go down that road, because I'll just start stress eating and start, you know what I mean?
So our daughter said that my mom's gained so much weight because her job's very stressful. She has to stress eat. I'm like,
stress
that's
eat?
terrible. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That is terrible.
Is it like candy? What's your go-to?
Everything. Wine.
Wine. See, alcohol, that's something like, that's
I'm
definitely.
Just kidding,
No, you're not.
Okay,
that's definitely. No. Listen, there's a reason why, like, I think like alcohol.
I celebrate eat though.
Yeah,
stress eat.
Yeah.
I social eat.
You're just doubling down. So that's the thing too, it's so easy to get out of whack in this industry because it's like, It's like I'll meet new realtors and they're like, oh, I'm going to lunch and list. I'm like, dude, stop going to lunches. No one wants to meet with you. You do no business. You make no money. Like no one, like they just want to use you.
Yeah.
Just so they can act like they feel
lunch.
busy. Yeah, free lunch is just.
Wait, why don't we get to go to free lunches?
Because you don't shop yourself around. Yeah.
We're pretty loyal to who we have.
Well, because I'm loyal to my people. I've worked with the same people my whole career. One, they're really good at their job.
Yes, 100%.
And two, it's like we have a good system working. Why?
And it's fun. I love who we work with.
Exactly. You know, I like being able to pick up the phone. Like the two people I work with, Title and Lindy. Like I've known since high school.
Yeah.
We all went to high school together. So it's like we have that friendship where I can pick up the phone and it's work, but then it's fun. And then it's like just talking this and then talking trash to each other. Like I come from a world where it's all about talking trash to each other and it's fun.
Well, I think that's where it allows you to grow when it turns into from a professional relationship to an actual personal one, right? Like our lender and our title rep, I mean, we'll hang out with them outside of business.
Yeah.
Well, our title rep was like, nobody's dominating the area you live in. You should, or this area where I live. You should really start marketing
I got to listen in your area. What's up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. There's a bunch of
twosies.
one-offs in our neighborhood.
And
but our
so
title rep told us to come in and
we got the listing, ended up selling our house, buying that house. Now we live 3 doors from her.
Oh, really?
yeah,
nice.
So she was hanging out by the pool over the weekend.
I think that's the thing is it's all about making the most fun. Like I always tell everyone when you're picking an office where you know you can do business. Yeah. That's number one. But 2, you can also have fun.
Yeah.
Because if you're not having fun doing this job, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Like it's just not, it's too much of a roller coaster. If you don't have people to have fun with, but also can work, and you're all doing deals together, like Alex Wing always says, it's all about building SEAL Team 6. That's my goal. SEAL Team 6 is like the perfect goal in real estate, in my opinion.
What's that?
SEAL Team 6 is where you work with 5 other top producing agents.
Oh, that's cool.
Like minimum 20 deals a year, and everyone knows what they're doing, and you can just feed off of each other. And if you need, everyone got your back, and you know they can handle anything that comes their way. So if you can't take care of something because of Mike's sick or
everybody's got it,
someone will step in and it's so everyone's so dialed in that you never have to worry about what
I do feel like that with our team right now, as far as maybe the numbers aren't quite there yet, but they definitely have our back and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I do feel like we have a really, really good culture right now.
So are you trying to grow then, or are you just like want to really lock in?
Maybe 1 or 2 more. We have one girl in Orange County. We want to get her a few people out there to feel like, she's got somebody in her neck of the woods. I
think we need 1 more and we'll have our SEAL Team 6, and then we just work on helping them grow their business. And then
because I'm thinking that's really the thing. Do you ever heard of Garrett Brooks? Is it Garrett Brooks? Do you know who that is in your area?
No, the name.
I think it's like Temecula Valley, whatever.
Okay.
But he has like 6 dudes. They like just like 150 deals a year. They all crush it, and I'm like, dude, like that's, and they all just feed off each other, and like especially like on social, like I think that's the biggest mistake teams make. You guys don't no teams leverage their socials.
No, ours do. I'm like, post it. What's ours is yours, and what's yours is ours. No, we do.
Oh, I don't see it enough.
I'm really good at stories, really bad at posts.
Exactly. Do you get mad at her because of the social, or are you still running that?
No, she gets mad at me, and I think I kind of got burned out from training in it for such a long time.
It's like a contractor. If you do it forever, you don't want to do it at your own house?
Whenever you go list a contractor house, like, oh, no, I'll do it. I'm like, I always say, like, no, you won't, because you haven't. It's been like that for 7 months, because the wife will be like, no, he won't. I've been asking for 7 months now.
And that's why we brought Michaela on, because we're like, we see that we're lacking there. She's going to pick this up and start doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is she going to be one shooting videos, like, on camera, or her job is just to make the posts?
No, her job's just to make the posts. Mm-hmm. We have the content. We'll do the content, and we'll sit in our phones.
It just won't even shoot it.
So she's going to create, like, the content folder, not just for us, but for the whole team. Mm-hmm. So there's always something to share. There's never an excuse why you can't share. And that's what she's going to college for, right? Once she graduates high school this year, she's going to go off to college for that. So it's a great building block for her, and then allows us to still provide more value to the team and still be consistent with our message. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys use this system. It's called Heropost. So it's a system that's $139 or $199 lifetime, and you can schedule out all your posts on all your platforms for as many people as you want. So you could do it for your team.
Heropost?
Heropost. Yeah.
Look, he's taking notes.
So I do it for like my showing agent. She's a teacher, and I have control of her Instagram. So like when I post a just listed or an escrow, I put her name on it. So it looks like her listing, and then I automatically post it on her page. So that's one less thing for her to do. So then
That's cool.
and then you can just schedule out all your posts. This year we really need to do photo shoots. That's something we've always like lacked on.
Yeah.
We've always said we were going to do it.
We did the lifestyle and we used that a lot, but it was just him and I. So
Yeah,
then we just did team photos, and now we want to do some team videos.
Team videos?
Yeah.
That's good.
So that's our goal for this year.
Look at you guys. What's your numbers for the year do you want to do?
Well, I'd like to hit probably same as last year, somewhere close to 50.
50 deals?
Yeah, and then the team. Like,
then-
but that's because we kind of backed up to do some of these other goals. We wanted to get that short-term rental, and we hit that. We're diversifying into a couple other companies, so kind of take a step back to launch
I think
forward.
if you can figure out if I always look at it, if real estate can be my main financial driver and I can just keep that the same, then I can use that other energy to go invest in other and build other things. Like we're working on a coaching program right now. We do
That's
this
cool.
kind of stuff. Like our coaching program is going to be, let's see what your guys' thoughts on this is.
Yeah.
So the coaching program is going to be for a brand new agent, what to do in the first 90 days.
Oh, that's
Because
a great
like,
one.
and I think I'm going to call it, I just got my license, what now? Coaching program.
Love it.
Because like that's always the question
Yeah.
I get. I just got my license. What do I do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, and Tom Ferry and all these people are coaching more like you're somewhat, but like what brokerage to work for? What questions to ask?
So I had a broker we were working for, and
I love how
went
she's
in.
dropped no names. I
Yeah.
like
He
it.
will not give
I
She
will
is
not.
literally, no one watches this, but I just love how
No.
careful she is. She's like, so I was one time working at this brokerage. It started with a C, and
Yes, actually.
and ended with the 21.
Stop it. And the broker was like, I'm
and it
going to
was,
coach you.
and there
I
was
don't want
some
you
gold.
to go anywhere.
There was a gold color somewhere located in it. I don't remember where.
They were
But
branded. Maybe they're not gold anymore.
what are you talking about? I want the jacket. You know what I mean? Like I want the gold jacket. But continue.
But I was leaving, and he said, don't leave. I'll coach you personally. I walk in, and he's like, so what are you going to do this week? I was like, I'm brand new. You're supposed to tell me what to
I
do.
know.
What do you mean? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So, I mean, that's a lot of coaching
I think that's the
programs.
struggle. That's the struggle with brokers is one. If they're still in business, they've been doing it for so many years. They don't know what it's like to be brand new and 30 or 28 or whatever
Yeah.
the age is, or they're so out of production they don't even know. Just call your sphere. That's
Yeah.
always the line.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned my first brokerage. I sent the same postcards he did out, but to my area.
Oh, I
And he would get-
mortified myself. I was
and he would
humiliated.
and he was getting 2 calls every time he sent them out. And I'm like, dude, why? It's the same thing. And I'm like, dude, he's living in the same, across the street from his mom's house. He's lived since he was 10. He went to Poly, which is right across the street. All these peoples are the people that have known him his whole life. And he's 62 years old. Like, they're going to hire him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't do business the way he does it. I got to do it completely
Oh,
different.
yeah. I started, what was it? Buffini, I think.
Oh,
Which I think
yeah.
Buffini is fantastic. But maybe when you're a little bit
my
like
bases.
further into it.
CYA.
Maybe when you're a little bit further into it.
Well,
so I
Buffini's
started calling everybody, and it was so out of character for me that people could feel it. It was
Yeah.
like so uncomfortable.
Well, that, and when you're brand new, like, are you really ready for those questions? If
You're
you-
not.
No, I was
You're
so,
not.
it was ridiculous.
And then the problem is if you screw up someone they know other people. Like I go.
That's like a lender. Start it with refis.
Yeah.
Don't start with somebody's like.
I go deep hard when it's someone that's in my circle that knows other people from high school. I go like I'll say I go 10 times harder than them. Like this is than a lead that I just got off an open house. Like
Yeah.
I'm be honest because I want that service to be. Damn, that was really great. And you have to use Adam when you're hanging out with the guys. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know Adam. But that's
they're
all my
some
business.
of our biggest cheerleaders.
Exactly. Do you do well with past clients? I do awful with past clients. I send no gifts. I do no events. I know I need to do events this year, but I feel so out of character, like picking up the phone and being like, "Hey,
No,
what's up?"
I love my past clients.
See, I don't know.
It
if
works
it's-
for her. She
Like,
gets a lot
let's
of
But
go
it's-
to
stuff.
wine. Let's.
See, I don't do any of that
Where my
I just
problem is though is because I wasn't putting them in the like a lead system, like I wasn't putting them in
a database.
See, I don't even know what that's called, a
In
CRM. so because I wasn't putting them
Thank
in
God
there,
you have
Mike.
follow up boss.
So
She's like,
because-
"What's our CRM called? Follow up boss?"
So I would send out-
or is it? What's the other one called? I don't even know.
Yeah.
But because I wasn't sending, like, I would spend so much time having to go back and track everybody's addresses, but I could tell you who everybody is, who their kids are, what they do. I absolutely love people. So
The crazy
like
thing
the
is that
relationships.
the majority of like producing agents is if they don't have somebody actually updating their CRM and it was left to them,
We would never
wouldn't
do
be-
it.
It wouldn't be done.
Mine is in a mine's in an Excel form.
Yeah.
I don't even have a CRM. I haven't had CRM for years, but it's just an Excel form. though really the only touches I have with my past clients is like 3 times a year I send out CMAs.
Okay.
And then I send out like a handwritten note on my handwritten machine on what I think the market's doing and my opinion. But a lot of my business comes from like my daily videos on YouTube, on Instagram.
HomeBot for us has been huge.
I have HomeBot too, but like
$25.
I have HomeBot too. I do both.
And that we can watch. Like my mom was like, I don't know if this is accurate, and so we're like looking back through it. This was a couple years ago, and all of a sudden Mike's like, I really think your mom might be thinking about selling. I'm like, she's not thinking about selling. She's gonna retire here. All of a sudden she calls and was like, hey, let's go check out this house. And within like 2 months, no, they just wanted to get closer to San Diego.
Yeah. So
Getting a single story home. And so HomeBot really does help us track who's interested in selling.
Yeah.
And that way we can serve them.
I think though, like, you know, don't take anything away from yourself. Like when we were golfing and then you stopped real quick, shot that video, sent it to your buddy, it was his birthday or something.
Oh yeah.
Like those are still those types of touches. And I told Stacey, I got home, I was like, we need to send video messages
on Instagram.
Well, he was like, oh, I need to join a golf course.
Oh yeah. And then
working on that.
You're still working on that one?
Yeah.
I know, dude. I'm playing Thursday because I'm going up to Pebble on Saturdays. So I'm super pumped about that. But I started doing it on Instagram, not in text, because Instagram, people are already so used to getting video messages that I feel like it's more comfortable for someone to receive it on Instagram over a text message.
That, and if they have an Android phone, for all you Android users out there,
it won't come in good.
The video is terrible, so it's better to just use Instagram.
And then I can see when they open it.
Exactly.
So
no, I took that away from you when we're golfing, and I was like, we got to do this, and we're doing better. And actually, you know, shout out to our coach Andy at Platinum Coaching, because she challenged us. It was like, hey, what is your 12 touch plan for past clients? Like a third of them can be tchotchkes and you know, pies or whatever it is, but you need to have like more personal touches, and it can't just be happy anniversary.
And events are hard for me because our business is all over the place.
For me, the events hardest because my clients are so different style of people that like it would be weird for them. Like I need to do like the movies where they just come watch a movie and then dip out.
We have a friend that's fantastic at it, and so one of her big things,
I don't know if you know who
she'll say, oh, it's Mother's Day, I'm going to pick my top 10 mothers and I'm going to take them to do something, and then it's
do you feel like it's a woman thing? Well, this is a good question for Mike and you. Like, do you feel like it's easier as a woman to have that softer touch with past clients? Oh, I'm going to take them to do wine. I'm going to, because you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like that is, because I always feel like all the women crush it.
I don't know, because like this weekend we had over somebody that's a client that's turned into a friend, 2 of them, and a friend that's also turned into a client, and we're like, hey, invite him over, and he barbecued and just made drinks.
But I mean, like overall, like throughout the year, isn't it? I feel like it's easier for women to have that like touch.
I think so, because there's only but there's only like a handful of things that as a guy I would be like, hey, you want to go watch a game? You want to go golf?
True.
You want to go grab a beer, or you come over and barbecue?
Yeah.
Like outside of that,
we really don't have anything.
What else?
And then it's hard because like, who do you invite? And then, you know, a lot of my clients, the wife, it kind of runs the show, the husband's working or whatever. True. So it's like, I didn't really even talk to him really in a transaction. Yeah. You know, it's mostly the wife. So then it's like, I'm calling up someone's like, I feel weird. Like, hey, do you want to like go to the brewery this week? You know what I mean? Like, I swear this is a client basketball.
Yeah, you're all, hey, Tiff, you want to go to the spa later?
Yeah, exactly. You want to get massages at, you know.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's so weird for me. I feel so uncomfortable. I don't know if it's like in my head thing or I don't know. It's just
true.
I always say I need to hire more women here so then they could be like the softer touch.
I think maybe some of our touches though are a lot of tchotchkes, like the koozies and the hats,
the wine cap,
the wine cap.
Like, can you not cause problems? You're lucky that I caused more problems at the event than you did.
We're like, we'll never be able to do this again.
You're like, thank God Adam caused more of a problem than us, so people don't even remember what happened with the toppers. You know what I mean? You're welcome. I took a bullet for the team.
Hey, we appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing too. Like, I think too many people take everything so serious. Like I had some conversations with people after that. I'm like, you know what? It is what it is, dude. No big deal. We'll all move on. No one cares.
There's always drama. So
there's always something going on. You're welcome. You're welcome. You know, and it's like, I think that's the cool part about being who we are, is because it's like, oh, I'm going to leave. Oh, I'll be fine. I'll go do the same amount of business I did last year.
Well, I think because you realize it really comes down to what are you doing?
Exactly.
The connections you're making, which when they talk about taking agents out of making it all just transactional, it's like, how? Because people like human connection.
The only people think that we're replaceable are the people that don't do real estate.
Yeah.
Because they just don't know how much it comes down to building relationships. They don't realize how many calls you take that is like, I'm just freaking out. I need someone to just calm me down. That's all it is. 99% of the time it's, I'm freaking out right now. What should I do? I'm freaking out right now. Like, what if this happens? What? And then you just go, hey, calm down.
That's where her psychology degree comes into play.
Yeah.
Man,
I use it every day.
I should have taken one class at RCC when I went and dropped out there. You know what I mean?
I didn't finish, but she did. And she's like, I never even used this. I was like, yeah, you do.
You do.
Yeah.
It's like ability to just like listen and just like be able to like make sure. I think that's my strength and probably yours too. It's like you're just able to walk into a room, make everyone feel it's going to be okay, and I'll take care of it.
Especially because that's not natural for me. So I definitely needed the psychology degree.
She is. You need to give yourself a little bit more credit, girl.
I've told her that for years. She does not give herself like.
See, I probably give myself too much credit, and she doesn't give herself enough credit. So we're balancing out in this moment right now. Yeah. It's like, so how do you then battle with your like insecurities? Do you just suck it up and go in?
You just got to figure it out.
Okay.
Right? I mean, I've got my girls looking at me like we have to do it.
There's no ifs and buts about it.
No, we've gone all in.
How do you feel when like things get hard? Do you like that feeling?
Yes and no. I kind of thrive off of it and then freak out on it for a minute.
I like literally the next day I'm here at 4:30 in the morning working. Like I shut
down for a minute and I might go to like Nordstrom or somewhere
and spend somebody. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, things are really bad. Where can I go shopping? What can we buy? Yeah. And then
what can I make myself happy with?
And then
she looks at the tag. We can't buy these. Or you're like, if the tag's still on, don't worry, I'm returning it. Market's slow right now. You know what I mean? We just bought a duplex.
And then it really goes into overdrive. Like, what can we do? I remember feeling like when COVID hit and it was like, we started actually shooting content.
Yeah.
We hired a kid to come over and we started shooting content because I was like, no, we're going to do this. We're not going to stop.
Yeah. I think that was the hilarious part. How many DMs I got during that time was like, how do I shoot? What camera do you shoot? What system do you use? Yeah. I'm like, bro, I've been telling you this since 2016.
Yeah. It wasn't just content. We also, like the same group of agents that we were doing masterminds with. Mm-hmm. We continued them through COVID, just through Zoom. We're like, we're not going to stop.
I think it's just nice to bounce ideas off of people. It's kind of how you learn and talk. And I think that's the thing is when you're speaking, that's when ideas pop in your head.
Yeah.
And that's what's the nice part. Then what's a flaw that you think that you guys need to work on that you just haven't got that?
For me, I mean, I use a paper calendar, so he wants to kill me. Yeah.
I mean, it works for her, but when everything else is on the computer and then I'm like, yeah, we could be there. And then she's like, oh, not according to my paper calendar.
Yeah, so like my assistant puts everything in my calendar. She even puts the address for me where I'm going, so I can just click it and go to maps. Nice. And then in there it's like Supra gas.
Oh no, code. I am like I was a Franklin Covey trained manager. Like I don't get systems. You would think I'm 100 years old.
People think I'm so tech savvy, and I'm like, I have no idea how to do that. I was like, call Adrian. I have no idea. I literally just hit play and then.
But if we have things in systems, it's that much easier to send things out to clients to go, oh, who haven't I touched recently? You know, who do I need to reach out to?
Especially nowadays, there's so many cool systems that the hard part is everyone picks too many systems, but if you can grab a few, like this AI gift thing, I think I'm going to start doing, like for referrals and stuff, literally the agent can go in or your past client or your current client can go in, type out their name, their address, and then you put a price limit, and they get to pick whatever gift they want, and that company ships it out to them. And you do not, and it just notifies you what they got, and that they're shipping out a gift.
Yeah, I think though, like kind of going back to your very first question when you were asking about, you know, our team's going away or they're here to stay, like where I think even if you don't have systems, but you have a team where you can delegate things or they can step in, that's what will help as well.
Yeah.
Like as we're learning these systems, we have somebody that can go and knock this out for us, or an app where you can put somebody in and say, hey, go and lock that door.
Yeah.
Like technology is just everywhere in the industry now, so it allows us to, even with a lack of systems, to still be productive.
Yeah. And I think for us too also is getting more into the community, because we do business all over the place, and just we're really trying this year to start really getting it immersed into the community.
Yeah.
Like now we found what's home for us.
For sure.
So we're not leaving.
Like if I could do a deal, like I had my listing on Lemons a block from here. I walked there.
How amazing is it?
Literally, I was like, can I just take every listing where I walk to it?
It's amazing.
Like literally, it was awesome.
Yeah. But I'm in the car a couple hours a day, every day.
See, that's why I live 3 blocks from here, because I only walk here.
Yeah.
So I don't even commute here. I only walk.
Amazing.
Because that's what sucks with I stay at my girlfriend's house in Rancho. Like on Monday, I commute home, and then I'm like, Bro, I'm not moving out here.
You commute.
I'm commuting an hour. Actually, it's like 25 minutes.
Terrible.
I always say it's an hour. She's like, it is not an hour. I'm like, yes, it is. By the time I park the car, go inside, get ready, get to the office, it's an hour. She's like, that doesn't count. It's 20 minutes. I'm like, if there's traffic, it's 30. All right.
True.
Took us an hour to get here.
Yeah, I actually did.
Well, because off of Scott Road, trust me, I worked to open a house out there the other day.
No, it's like when you get into Riverside.
Oh yeah, it's pretty
everything
brutal.
like slams
on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mike, what do you need to work on? Do you think? There's a coaching program right now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, Mike, what do you got to work on?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Be more supportive to your wife.
No, he's super supportive. That is
my
his.
wife asked me.
Honestly, because when you said where do you like lack, and it's confidence,
Yeah.
and so seriously, he spent the first 5 years just like
It's
pepping me
hard.
up, going,
This job
"You've
is
got
so
it, don't stop.
difficult."
You've got it, don't stop." And I think having 4 daughters too, that's just he has definitely helped
Because
us all
it's
dream.
even I question myself sometimes, or I see someone buy a house, or like. How, like right now, like that Winchester, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Are my clients mad at me? And then they're like, hey, I appreciate all the hard work. And like in your head, you're your own worst demon. They're like, you suck. Why aren't you like? Why isn't the house not sold yet? Blah blah. And like in your head, you're like, dude, I don't. And then it's like, how much more could I be doing? Like I don't, you know.
Well, I think we're all people pleasers in this industry.
100%.
We're servants.
You have to be. You have to be.
Yeah. You have to have a servant's heart to like be in real estate.
Yeah, I think I just need to focus a little bit more time blocking for me. You know, just because I do get involved in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Right? Like from cryptocurrency to this Airbnb to looking at other small businesses to, I mean, talking to you about that listing you have coming. It's like, hey, let's flip it.
Flip it. Yeah.
You know, let's do something, you know, but to be able to focus and still say, hey, we can still do all of those things and focus on that, but let's time block during this time to get these things
I
done.
need to get better at time blocking too.
Yeah.
Like literally, like we finally had like Mondays news video days. So we shoot one a day, and I'm like, dude, we need to shoot all in one day.
Yeah, that's a good
because like
idea.
it was
Then you
just
can,
it would be like because then it kind of helps with our consistency. I know I need to work on showing like more of my soft personality online. That's like my big thing. But people don't understand, like I'm trying to shoot a video in 1 minute and it has to be about information. Like it's not easy to shove all that into 1 minute. Like it's very, very difficult.
I love though how like you're super casual. Like, you know, because
in the videos?
When you're your authentic self, I was going to come here.
I was like, we have an event after this.
Who cares?
And
I'd wear flip-flops to that thing.
That would be him.
Hell, what? Who cares?
I had to change and put this button-down shirt on. Because
I don't know.
Hair, you know,
Someone is funny. Riverside agents that are my age always say that. They're like, "Oh, someone went to your open house," and I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Was he wearing flip-flops?" And they're like, "Yeah." Oh, that's Adam. Yeah. And people are like, "How do you wear hats on listing appointments?" Or how do you? I'm like, dude, I am who I am all the time. But here's the thing: I've had clients where I knew. I had my biggest listing ever. I knew my client wanted me to wear a suit and a tie every time. So I wore a suit and tie every time. Yeah. That's what I wore. Yep. But then when I would just go over there to see him, I went over in shorts and flip-flops and a hat. Like I don't think people are hiring me because of I wear a suit or not. I wore a suit early in my career because I didn't know what I was talking about. And I didn't have the reviews. I didn't know. I was like faking it until I make it. Yep. Now it's like, find out another agent that knows how many houses are on the market right now in Riverside. 219. Yeah. I know that because I check every day. Yeah. Or inventory's down in all 3 counties other than San Bernardino and Riverside County. So for me, it's like I'd rather hit you with facts. But if you don't know the facts, then you're just faking it. You know,
then put on your suit.
And put your suit on, and then make it like my number one pet peeve is when people make real estate videos, but then throw no information in it, and it's all opinionated. And I'm like,
oh no, I'm definitely making a video on your
that thing, yeah.
Of what counties have inventory and don't.
Well, and the thing is, and the thing about
and I'm asking for it.
If you're a buyer's agent, and you're in those low inventory markets, you want to be like, hey, look at this. Could be both videos. Look at inventory is going up in Riverside County. Maybe you go from Anaheim Hills to Corona. We probably have a better opportunity to get something there. And it's just educating your clients. And that's how you get more deals.
So many people think like, oh my gosh, it's going to start slowing. But same thing like you said earlier, there's so many people that have been sitting on the sidelines. They're going to jump back in.
I just think the houses that are going to slow down are the track homes that are dated like mine.
I'm already seeing that.
I just think but then Lemon went crazy because it's a craftsman, has so much character, so many people.
So cute and clean.
I hate saying the word cute, but super cute. You know what I mean? But those are the homes that will always sell. Yeah. Yeah, they're selling for top dollars right now, but they'll sell in any market.
So what would you use instead of cute?
has a lot of character. I like character over cute. The reason I hate the word cute.
That girl has a lot of character.
Yeah, exactly. The reason I hate word cute because I've heard like so many like realtors be like, "This house is so cute. This house is so cute.
But that house
That's so
really
cute.
is so cute.
Very cute." But the funny thing about that house is we bought it 4 years ago for $220,000. It was an absolute dump.
Wow.
My clients had no money. I had to give my client my commission so we could just paint the inside because the guy who died there smoked in there for 50 years.
Oh, you're telling me. Okay, okay.
That's
the lemon house?
Yeah, they redid the whole house.
Wow.
And then, 4 years later, she's going to make $300,000 on it.
Amazing.
Like,
yeah,
that is real estate, and that is the power of real estate. So, well, thanks, guys. I appreciate you coming on here, coming up to Riverside.
Thank you so much.
And see, you did a great job. You were so worried. What are we going to talk about?
I just needed some caffeine, maybe.
Exactly.
From Tycor, just a
Tycor title. Thank you for the coffee mugs. I don't know if that's against rules nowadays, but who knows?
Right.
Yeah.
I actually got a notepad from them too. So if that's breaking the rules, then we have some trouble. Which I don't understand that. Like
funny.
lenders pay us, but like title does nothing, but they can't give it. I don't. It doesn't make
so
any
funny.
sense. Anyways, you title reps, you ruined it in the early 2000s. Thanks a lot. So.
Cool.
Guys,
Thank
if you need
so
anyone
much.
down in the Menifee area or Temecula Valley, Winchester, Temecula, if you're an agent looking to join a team down there,
We need one or two more.
they need one or two more. SEAL Team 6.
We only have girls, but I love it. But
I don't think
we need a guy. Mike needs a prospecting buddy.
No, you don't need that. Because,
Yeah, because when somebody's prospecting with him, then I feel like his numbers go up on conversion.
Oh, women. Okay, one little side note. Women in real estate, if you are somewhat attractive, you could crush if you just work. Like, if you just know what you're talking about, you always get more views online. If you're knocking on doors, more people will talk to you. When you're cold calling, more people will talk to you. Like, you just have to work. Like,
I think you need to still provide that value.
No, that's what I'm saying. But you have to know what you're talking about. That's what I said. You have to know value. So if you learn what you're talking about, you will crush. The problem is they don't learn what they're talking about, and they just try to rely on their looks, and because they get a lot of fire emojis, but then it never turns into any deals because people just want to sleep with you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem.
Well, I don't think it's just women. I think anybody who's just looking to be Insta famous and not actually provide value, whether you're a guy or a girl, like, you need to have value and substance in what you're sharing. Otherwise,
value is what separates you from everyone else. Yeah. In your own perspective, and having to put yourself out there and you not being worried that. I mean, I made a video when COVID hit saying the market was crashing. I was obviously way wrong.
Well, we all thought it was. I mean, nobody knew it was going to go in the opposite direction.
Had no idea.
Nobody did.
And but then I did make a video saying Purple Brick was going to be out of business, and 6 months later they were gone. So that video was cool.
Our coach was like, "There's another one coming in." Like into the marketplace, into Riverside County. I can't remember what it's called. And I was like, and
it doesn't matter.
Open doors down 70%.
Yeah.
Zillow, they're not going to be buying that many. Zillow can't buy any more houses. Their stock prices are down. Like,
there'll always be somebody trying to come in and distract us. And
the moment market flattens out, they have way too much overhead, and they're always losing money, and they're always trying to just keep catching up. So, anyways,
cool. Well,
thanks, guys. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.